just fantastic.
Thank you. Fire. I'm on fire.
Literally. You're the girl on fire.
The world's on fire. Especially this morning. I can't even get started. I am really furious. Okay. The Gifted, yeah.
Can you tell us about your relationship with John?
Yeah, you know, I think she's really settled down, and I think finally, for once in her life, she's found her partner, her support, her person. But throughout the season, all of that's kind of thrown into a loop, and I think she truly questions, regardless of who you love. I think the bigger question is, like, where do you really see yourself? Like, you know what I mean? So I think she's playing with the question of what she's willing to sacrifice in order to truly be happy. So it's going great now, but you never know what happens in a couple months.
Drama.
Exactly.
And I mean, we haven't really seen her use her powers much this season. What's really coming from her and her storyline?
Yeah, I mean, it's not budget cuts. No. Portals are expensive. No, I think the main question for the writers is, like, you can get out of, there wouldn't be any story or there wouldn't be any conflict because Blink can literally get you out of any bad situation, and I think she's always used that. But I think it's more of a question of identity for Blink. Identifying as a mutant, identifying as a human, or identifying with people who can pass as human. So I think for her struggle is truly identity and being proud of who you are and showing your real colors, quite literally. Yeah. So it's not so much of power ability; it's more about identity.
Will we see her starting to use them more in future episodes?
In different ways. Oh, totally. I think you will see them used and fun in different ways, and quite possibly in terms of the cause, instead of just, you know, shuttling people through different portals. It's going to be used in a pretty neat way. Yeah.
What dynamic are you most excited for fans to see explored in the second season?
Well, I think the second season is you're introduced to a whole different ideology. You have the Mutant Underground, you have the Inner Circle, you have the Purists, the Purifiers, and then you have the other Mutant Underground, which is the Morlocks. They are literally a group of mutants that live underground. So you have four very different ideologies, and I think it's how they clash. The Inner Circle, which is very aggressive, I would call it the far right, which uses everything in their ability and their capital in order to get what they want and kind of like fuck everyone else. You have the Purifiers, another example of the far right, who don't even want the mutants around. They just want the pure humans, and that's it. The Mutant Underground, who chooses to live cohesively, and then the Morlocks, who, you know, choose to live underground and not be bothered by anyone. So they kind of have this amazing environment and amazing society where they're not bothered and they can just truly be who they are. So, did I answer your question? I'm so sorry. Okay.
Do you have any funny stories working with the cast?
Oh my goodness. You know, it's always a good time working with the cast, but it's quite funny because we have the Inner Circle who are all very pale and in like black turtlenecks in the summer, so it's usually quite different. And it's kind of like rags to riches. Like, you have the riches being the Inner Circle and then the rags being the Underground, so I don't think it's very funny. But funny stories, I mean, it's just such a treat when we do get to work together. It's like wrangling, you know, 30 kids together. Like, whenever we are together, like, the ADs have the worst times. They're like, do you have eyes on this person? Do you have eyes on that? And we're always kind of like scrambling, not on purpose, but it's just the way it is. That's not very good, and I apologize. Yeah.
Do you have like an episode this season that you're really looking for fans seeing, whether it's a scene or a specific episode?
Yeah, you know, we just shot an episode, and I think it's the final straw, the final question, and you get to, of like where Blink truly belongs, or where she feels herself, like truly can feel herself and be open. And I think you'll see that later on in the episode. I believe it's 212, 213, where you get a really cool flashback of Blink's past as a young teen. So that'll be kind of cool. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Episode, obviously you got drunk, shot out the little light thing.
We've all made mistakes.
So what can you, I mean, Lauren saw it, but obviously she hasn't reached out or anything yet. Where does your character go from here? He's obviously in a kind of hard place, but...
Yeah, I mean, I always think that maybe he's hit rock bottom and then they give me more stuff to deal with. He's not having an easy time. And actually, like, there's so many questions unanswered. How could someone that he loves so much, that he cares about so much, do this to him? I think there's a difference in the pain now, and it's not that someone's taking her away from me, it's that she's chosen to go as well. And that's a whole different level of jadedness that he can't deal with. Didn't have a choice in the naming of his child, doesn't know whether his child is alive, wasn't there for the birth of it. I think that's the most... I feel for his pain so gravely, mainly because I have to feel his pain all day, which is miserable. I go home exhausted. But, I mean, whenever I smiled, I think we had one flashback in a scene and we went like, this was so fun! I had the best day. And I remembered what it was to enjoy work. No, so where does he go from here? Well, actually, the next episode, again, just another beating. He's actually brought in and gets to meet them for the first time, but not for the reasons that he would have thought. And actually, again, for the wrong reasons, for unkind reasons, he's being used. And so again, he's being tossed and turned, thrown around like a rag doll. And there's only so long before a man cracks. So we're going to see how far we can go. We've really pushed him. We're pushing him further.
How do you think he will be as a father if he ever does have that moment?
Oh, an immense father. He'd be a great dad. There's obviously daddy issues there. Again, we're about to see in the panel that maybe the flashback is him back in Colombia with his father, who kicked him out for being a mutant when he was a child. And so being abandoned by your father, Marcos is an upstanding individual that doesn't agree with doing that. Again, he doesn't believe in repeating that mistake. He knows that pain. We always bear from our pain and try to make sure that we don't project that onto somebody else. So you're going to meet him. You're going to see him in 2 days. You're going to see him meet his child for the first time, and I think hopefully he'll give off the impression of how loving a father he would be. He'll be a great dad. Shame about his mum.
I have something a little bit on the lighter side.
Yes, please.
If you step your shoes into any other character on the show, and why?
I think it depends, because some characters I wouldn't relate to entirely, and then you see how they're played and you just go, oh my god, if I could do it like that, I'd do it every day. Blink, Jamie's Blink is great. There's such a great humour there, and although Eclipse has this sort of sardonic, self-deprecating, like, well, in the face of adversity he'll make some sort of dumb quip, Jamie has just this wonderful ability to lighten things. I mean, Jamie's a phenomenal actress anyway, so obviously maybe it's just being so in awe of her. But actually, Blink has got this really cool story grappling with her ideology and whether she believes in what she's practicing and preaching, and whether actually she's hiding and suppressing what she really feels, and someone's going to come along and try to show her another world that she might be attracted to more. I think that's really cool. I think she's got a really cool backstory. She's also kind of an alien. You know what I mean? Like, she's sort of come from some other universe, hasn't she? So there's a lot of cool stuff in the way Jamie plays her. Who wouldn't want to be Blink? Yeah, you're welcome. We will be seeing, we've already released, I think we will be seeing the Morlocks. Erg in specific, who's the leader of the Morlocks, who can, I guess, absorb energy and emit it through his eye hole that he lost, God knows when. So we come to blows. We don't agree with each other particularly on many things. I think he thinks Marcos is a bit of an erratic loudmouth, and I think he's an idiot that lives in a sewer. So we clash quite a lot, and actually me and Jamie get to go down to the Morlocks quite a lot, and then Marcos meets a few people. Hi, darling. That's the closest we've been. That's the most love we get. So we get the Morlocks, and also we actually get the right sort of an extremist militant group, the Purifiers, that are actually mutant haters, and we get to see some really cool sort of versions of them pop up. We're doing our own takes on them, obviously, but we've got some more. We're broadening the X-Men universe.
Thank you. Enjoying the show so far?
What's that?
Are you enjoying the show so far?
The show? Oh yeah. No, I'm a fan of it. I watch the show with my kids. We're big fans of the show.
That's very good.
So this is for Amy.
Talking about The Gifted, right?
Yes. Yes, I am.
So how is your dynamic with Eclipse this season? I feel like you guys have become friends. Is that going to continue as it goes on?
I hope so. Sean and I really love doing scenes together, and I like that they are kind of on the same mission and have this bond over having lost Andy and Polaris, or Lorna, whatever we call her now. So I hope so. I think I think it'll come back around. So. There's so many interesting. Sorry. There's just the great thing about this season is we are able to kind of interact with different characters in the way that we didn't last year when we were all kind of in one group all together all the time. So it's fun getting to see different people have new relationships.
Yeah, I just know, like, as a fan of the show, watching the first couple episodes, like seeing all the turmoil that's going on in the Mutant Underground, and you two seem to be the two characters that are the most like, F this, it's time for action. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see you guys team up that way.
And I mean, it seems like you're kind of going down the path you were originally. Like now you kind of lost your son, you're kind of, well, you know, he left away, but now you're trying to go after him by any means, and whereas you were trying to get revenge for your daughter last season, and now it seems like you're trying to turn a different way.
Well, we'll see about that.
What can you kind of tease about where your character is heading?
Yeah, he leaves Sentinel Services. And he and his wife are trying to move on with life, and I think we just last saw him. It looked like he was going to move on with life, but I think we all know that's not going to happen. And so he's kind of like a man with a mission, but with no authority or no army to get it done. So along come the Purifiers, who are this like militant anti-mutant group. And they're like, we could use a dude like you, and he's like, well, I could actually kind of use you guys, and then things get bad from there. Oh wow, they get bad.
I'd like to know how familiar you guys are with the comic book universe, with the X-Men universe overall, and the mutants. Like, did you have to do a lot of research? Are you nerds at heart?
I'm a nerd at heart. But I was never a comic book guy, but I was always into all the cartoons, TV shows, movies. My son is a huge comic book guy, so he's always like, no, it wouldn't be like that, because that was, or we'll go see a movie, I'm like, oh man, what's going to happen? He's like, what do you mean what's going to happen? In the next series, this happens. Like Infinity War, all that, he was like, yeah, whatever, they're not dead.
So does he have to explain things to you then, with any background with the X-Men? Does he help out with that?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
We have some people on set. Derek Hoffman, who's there, he knows. He's like a walking X-Men encyclopedia, so he knows every little piece of information. So if anytime anyone has a question, he's kind of your go-to guy.
Yeah, he's good for that, and he's good for pranks.
Do tell.
I think he only shows up to do pranks. Yeah.
Pretty true.
We had this kid on a gurney that was supposed to be dead, and on one take, they're getting ready to put the gurney into the ambulance, and Derek pops up going, "I'm not dead!" Scared the crap out of like half the crew. That's what he does.
That's great.
The thing with Sean with the flames.
Oh yeah, that was good.
So not only that, but
light hands.
He'll go like 6 months in advance on the planning, and he bought like this little, what is it, like a little flamethrower?
It was like,
it shoots a little flame.
It was like a
little wrist thing, and so he had a video. He had a camera ready to go. He coaxed Sean into a conversation about how it would look cool if him using his powers. And Sean's like, no, I think it'd be more like that. And Derek's like, no, I think it'd be more like this. Sean's like, no, more like that. And then Derek goes, well, how about this? Pop! And
without giving too much away. Okay. Without giving too much away, for the upcoming season, which is your favorite episode that we have not seen yet?
There's so much happens in all of them.
So much. It's going to be a good season. For me, I would say, just for like the stuff I got to do and like the challenging work, and episode 10, Jace and Thunderbird have a thing.
Yeah, I like that one too. I like Jace and Thunderbird having things.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you.